This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
You're listening to the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast. And now, here's your host, Lisa Rangel.
Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the fourth episode of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast. I am Lisa Rangel, host of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast and the founder of Chameleon Resumes. We are an executive resume writing and job search consultancy firm that helps executives and rising leaders land their next position faster. And I'm excited to be here with you today, and we're going to show you how to impress hiring managers and stay marketable to your network, which is really the only way to have job security in today's economy and proactively take care of your career. In past episodes, we talked about the only way to truly protect yourself from job loss is to pretend you're fired today and make a list of activities that you would do to find your next job and then doing it while you're working. Always having this list in the works, having your resume ready, your network primed. This is the best path to always be working and not having gaps between employment. As we said in episode 1, the first thing on that list is dusting off that resume and getting it up to speed. The last 2 episodes, we looked at how to format the document according to today's trends and how to find the right keywords to put into your resume so you can catch the attention of recruiters and hiring managers. And today, we're going to show you how to write an achievement-based resume so you can outshine your competition and always be the candidate that gets the interview call or just that exploratory meeting, even if you're not actively looking. Whether this is an exploratory interview or an interview for a job opening, writing an achievement-based resume will always pique the interest of hiring managers and put you ahead of other candidates. Hiring managers want top talent. Writing an achievement-based resume helps you convey that. So let's get to this. Here's a pill that may be tough to swallow. Most people have task-driven resumes or resumes that focus on areas of responsibility, but they don't tell a reader how well you've done at that particular task or how well you did in overseeing that area of responsibility. These bland resumes that are written very generically, they look like job descriptions with somebody's name up top. They're buzzkill resumes, and they tend to showcase basic job duties or, again, areas of responsibility. And as a result, when recruiters read these dull resumes, they think they're dealing with somebody who can really only do the basics. They just say what they do. They don't convey with enthusiasm how well they did it. Achievement-based resumes, on the other hand, help you stand out from the crowd because they give concrete examples of what you can do on the job and how well you did it. When you can set yourself apart by how well you did something, that's what makes it different. Achievements are those things that make lasting impacts on companies or a particular client that you've worked for. So we're going to go through some tips on how to write an achievement-based document so this way you can outshine the crowd. The first thing you want to do is embrace the use of verbs. Oftentimes people fail to use specific verbs in a resume. They start with duties included or responsibility for, and you don't want to do that. You want to start a bullet on a resume with a verb. The verb itself leads to a very basic depiction of what you started to do on that particular task on the job. Anyone can say that they're responsible for accounting, but what did you do in overseeing that accounting department or that finance department? What results did you bring? You need to say what you did in the job. Consider using verbs that stand out, such as spearheaded or streamlined. If you led an initiative, challenge yourself to use a word other than led. Go to the thesaurus, see what else suits your situation. If you download our resume cheat sheet at resumecheatsheet.com, you will get examples of verbs used in a resume to convey a more active, driven impression. Next, you want to make sure that you are highlighting your accomplishments and you're not shying away from them. Many people don't give themselves enough credit because they think highlighting your achievements that you're sounding conceited or you're bragging. People think they're bragging when they're talking about their accomplishments. And I'm not saying that you should go around saying you're the best marketing director in the world. No, I'm not saying that you do that. What I am suggesting, though, is if you increased your company's closable leads by 32%, that resulted in $4.7 million in additional revenue from a marketing campaign you designed, will say exactly that. When you speak in facts, you're not bragging. You're simply stating facts. The truth is that a resume doesn't require humility. It requires measurable facts. In fact, recruiters want you to tell them why you're the right fit for the job, and writing out your achievements on how you did particular tasks and areas of responsibility and indicating how well you did it is the best way to do this and outshine your competition. Make sure you highlight your accomplishments in your resume. I can't emphasize this enough. You can always start by taking a look at awards and recognitions that you received while on the job and what's the story behind it. List off any other achievements that you have, but maybe you didn't get public recognition for, but you know it made a difference in the job. You know it made a difference with other departments or with clients or with coworkers. From there, you can start narrowing down the best choices of the achievements to include on your resume, and then that can help you dictate what your bullets will be. Next, you want to show them results. So it's not a matter of just saying you oversaw this particular area or you did this particular task, but then you want to show that you produced results. How well did you do that particular task, or how well did you oversee that area of responsibility? You can do this in several ways, and you want to include examples. Make note of this. You want to include examples of how you saved the company money, how you made the company money, how you increased productivity, how you contributed to the culture of the organization. These are ways that you can depict your achievements and how you made a difference in your area. Nobody has a job anymore out of charity, right? You need to show how well you've been doing at your job. That's the essence here. You want to make sure that you're not using lengthy stories or these really long, dense paragraphs on your resume. Save that for the interview. You want to keep what you're describing on your resume in simple bullet points, no more than a line or two where you're outlining this achievement. And we talk about writing concisely in episode 2, and you're going to be able to see some examples of writing concisely on a resume when you go to resumecheatsheet.com and download that sample that I have for you there. So you'll see the examples of keeping your achievement to a 1 or 2 line bullet. Next, when you're writing your results, you want to be sure to add numbers. Use quantitative examples wherever possible. And this will help paint a very clear picture for the person reading your resume. One key question to ask yourself for yielding results is when you say you've done something well, ask yourself by how much? What did that good job look like? What was it before and what was it after? Numbers don't always have to mean money. Numbers can also mean the amount of people in your department, the amount of people that you hired, what you increased membership from and to. It can also mean growth, percentage growth, decreasing in costs. These are different ways that you can highlight your achievements. Ask yourself again, by how much? What did that good job look like? What did that success look like? And write your story around that. Granted, you might not be able to get your hands on sales reports, or it just may not be good judgment to use confidential information. Obviously, don't use anything that you shouldn't. But you want to make sure that without giving away confidential or proprietary information, you want to show that you're doing good work. So that's the key. Track your progress, and that's the progress and achievement you want to outline on your resume. Next, another idea that recruiters are always looking out for self-starters. So highlight things that you initiated voluntarily. Don't only assume that you need to include what you were told or mandated to do as part of your job. After all, once you get to a certain level, people want to see that you don't need to be micromanaged. You don't need to be told what to do. Obviously, in a leadership role, you need to demonstrate what you've initiated voluntarily. And that's what you want to highlight are the projects that you initiated yourself that made a difference. Did you get new business on your own? Did you volunteer to put the company's goodwill initiatives together? Are you mentoring other employees that have led to their promotions and you did it not being mandated to do it as part of a company leadership program? These are all great examples of how you set to achieve things on your own and bring people with you in your upward movement. That's motivation, that's leadership, and that's what you want to demonstrate. Writing an achievement-based document is a great way to highlight why you're a great fit for the organization that you're applying to as well. Highlighting your successes give the recruiter and the hiring manager exactly what they're looking for right off the bat. So when you go to resumecheatsheet.com and you download that sample, you're also going to be offered a free video training as well to accompany that cheat sheet. And there's going to be examples of how you can do that. Additional examples, about 4 or 5 other live resume examples that will be verbally discussed and help you walk through this process. The key to achievement writing is to catalog an achievement each day. You can't do it all at once. Doing a little bit of this process every day and each week so your documents are ready and so you're on top of your network before you need it is paramount to this whole pretend you're fired today concept and being ready. This is the work that reminds you that you don't want to do it when you need it. You want to do it now when you don't need it right away and you have access to all your information. So bravo to you for listening to this podcast and working on your document before you need it. And if you're currently not working, I don't want you to worry. You now know what you need to do, and you can still today start to make your resume stronger. So let's take action on today's episode. Download resumecheatsheet.com and start comparing your resume to the sample that I have for you that you're going to download at resumecheatsheet.com. What do you have that's similar from the sample to your resume? What do you notice that's missing? If you haven't already, download the cheat sheet, have that ready for the next episode. And this is where on the next one, I'm going to show you how to structure your resume for writing a targeted document for specific niches such as IT, for marketing, and for finance. And that's what we're going to start to focus on the next episode. The next few episodes, we're going to go through a list of tactics and activities that you can do now as if you were let go today. So you're going to want to stay tuned and join us for the next one. And this way you'll always be ready for whatever the world brings your way. My friend saved me with her priceless advice of pretend you're fired today and I'm paying it forward with you. And I ask you to pay this sentiment forward and share this information with as many executives and rising professionals who you feel would benefit from this advice of building it before you need it. To get a jump again on the first item of the Pretend You're Fired Today activity list, which is get your resume ready, go to resumecheatsheet.com and download that free sample so you can compare your resume and start to write your resume in an updated capacity. So we're going to tackle the next step on tailoring your resume for an executive role in the next episode. Thanks so much for joining me today. See you next time.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.